Bhagavad Gita 5.1. In the context of Kali Yuga, this verse resonates profoundly with the challenges of the present age. Arjuna's dilemma mirrors the perplexities faced by individuals in the modern world, torn between the demands of material life and the quest for spiritual fulfillment. Kukwa's response, echoing through the annals of time, speaks directly to the heart of Kali Yuga's predicaments. The call for a balanced approach, blending the pursuit of knowledge and devotion with worldly responsibilities, is a timeless prescription. In an era characterized by rapid technological advancement, material pursuits, and a relentless pursuit of success, this verse becomes a guiding light. In the hustle and bustle of Kali Yuga, individuals often find themselves torn between the extremes of absolute renunciation and unbridled materialism. Kukwa's teachings encourage a middle path where one engages in actions with dedication, yet remains detached from the fruits of those actions. This resonates with the modern need for individuals to balance professional ambitions with personal and spiritual growth. An apt illustration of this principle can be found in the life of a contemporary professional. In the corporate world, one faces constant challenges, competition, and the pressure to excel. Applying the wisdom of this verse, an individual can approach their work with dedication, competence, and a commitment to ethical practices. However, the true test lies in maintaining inner detachment, realizing that success or failure in the professional realm is ephemeral and doesn't define one's intrinsic worth. This verse serves as a timeless guide, urging individuals in Kali Yuga to pursue their responsibilities with diligence, while cultivating a mindset of detachment. By doing so, they harmonize their worldly engagements with spiritual evolution, navigating the complexities of the present age with wisdom and resilience.
Bhagavad Gita 5.2. In the context of Kali Yuga, this verse addresses the contemporary struggle between renunciation and active engagement in worldly affairs. This verse becomes a guiding principle for individuals seeking the highest bliss amidst the challenges of the modern age. Kukwa's proclamation of the superiority of Karma Yoga over renunciation speaks directly to the dilemmas faced by individuals in Kali Yuga. In an era marked by materialism and a relentless pursuit of success, there is often a tendency to seek solace in renunciation, believing it to be the path to spiritual elevation. However, Kukwa's wisdom challenges this notion, advocating for an active yet detached engagement with the world. The logical aspect of this verse in Kali Yuga is rooted in the recognition that complete renunciation may not be practical for everyone. The responsibilities of family, society, and profession are unavoidable in the present age. Kukwa's emphasis on Karma Yoga, the yoga of selfless action, provides a realistic and applicable solution. It encourages individuals to fulfill their duties with dedication and devotion, recognizing these actions as a means to spiritual growth. In the fast-paced and competitive environment of Kali Yuga, individuals often find it challenging to detach themselves from the pursuit of success and material gain. The principle of Karma Yoga becomes a transformative tool, allowing individuals to engage in their responsibilities with sincerity while maintaining a sense of detachment from the results. This is exemplified by a professional who dedicates their work to a higher purpose, considering it a service to the divine, thereby transcending the limitations of mundane pursuits. This verse, in the context of Kali Yuga, becomes a beacon of practical spirituality, guiding individuals to navigate the complexities of the modern world with a balanced approach. It affirms that the path of selfless action, performed with devotion, is not only feasible but also superior in leading one to the highest bliss amidst the challenges of the present age. Bhagavad Gita 5.3. In the context of Kali Yuga, this verse serves as a guiding light for individuals grappling with the challenges of a tumultuous and divisive world. Kukwa's description of a perpetual renunciant highlights qualities that are particularly relevant in an era characterized by polarities and conflicts. The logical aspect of this verse in the context of Kali Yuga revolves around the idea that true renunciation is not merely the renunciation of external possessions but, more crucially, the renunciation of internal attachments and aversions. In a world driven by material pursuits, social dynamics, and political divisions, individuals often find themselves entangled in a web of likes and dislikes. The perpetual renunciant, as described in this verse, is not one who abandons the world but one who remains untouched by the dualities inherent in worldly interactions. In the contemporary landscape, this could be exemplified by an individual who navigates the complexities of societal and professional interactions with a spirit of equanimity. Such a person neither harbors hatred nor is swayed by excessive desires, standing as a beacon of resilience amidst the chaos of Kali Yuga. The absence of dualities, as emphasized in the verse, becomes a potent tool for liberation in the present age. An example could be a social activist working for justice without harboring animosity towards those perceived as oppressors. By transcending the dualities of like and dislike, success and failure, such an individual embodies the essence of a perpetual renunciant, moving towards liberation despite being engaged in worldly affairs. In essence, this verse provides a profound insight into the internal dimensions of renunciation, offering a blueprint for individuals in Kali Yuga to navigate the complexities of a divisive world, while progressing on the path of spiritual liberation.
Bhagavad Gita 5.4. In the context of Kali Yuga, this verse addresses the prevalent misconception that knowledge and action are separate and exclusive paths. This misconception is particularly relevant in an era where specialization often leads to compartmentalization of skills and pursuits. The logical aspect of this verse in the context of Kali Yuga revolves around the idea that true wisdom lies in recognizing the interconnectedness of knowledge and action. In the modern world, individuals often compartmentalize their lives, separating professional pursuits from spiritual or intellectual endeavors. Kukwa's wisdom challenges this compartmentalization, asserting that a truly wise person understands the unity of these paths. In practical terms, this wisdom can be exemplified by an individual who, while pursuing a specialized career, recognizes the spiritual dimensions of their actions. For instance, a scientist engaged in cutting-edge research can view their work as a means of unraveling the mysteries of the universe, contributing to the greater knowledge and well-being of humanity. This holistic perspective aligns with the essence of this verse, where being firmly established in one domain naturally leads to the benefits of both. The verse also speaks to the prevalent dichotomy between theoretical knowledge and practical application. In the pursuit of academic or spiritual knowledge, individuals may neglect the practical aspects of life. Conversely, those deeply engrossed in worldly actions may overlook the importance of intellectual or spiritual development. Kukwa's wisdom, relevant in the context of Kali Yuga, encourages a balanced approach where knowledge and action complement each other. In essence, this verse challenges the fragmented mindset prevalent in the modern age, advocating for a holistic perspective where knowledge and action are seen as integrated aspects of a fulfilling and purposeful life. The truly wise person in Kali Yuga is one who transcends artificial boundaries and recognizes the synergy between understanding and application.
Bhagavad Gita 5.5. In the context of Kali Yuga, this verse addresses the prevalent misconception that the paths of knowledge and selfless action are divergent and mutually exclusive. This misconception is particularly relevant in an era where specialization often leads to a fragmented understanding of spirituality. The logical aspect of this verse in the context of Kali Yuga centers around the idea that the ultimate spiritual destination is accessible through both the pursuit of knowledge and the path of selfless action. In the modern world, individuals often compartmentalize their spiritual pursuits, believing that one must choose either the path of intellectual inquiry or the path of practical engagement. Kukwa's wisdom challenges this dichotomy, asserting that the true seer is one who recognizes the unity of these paths. In practical terms, this wisdom can be exemplified by an individual who combines intellectual pursuits, such as the study of sacred texts or philosophical inquiry, with practical engagement in selfless service and actions that contribute to the well-being of society. The verse implies that the destination reached by those immersed in the pursuit of knowledge is not exclusive to them. It is equally accessible to those engaged in selfless action. This challenges the notion that only scholars and contemplatives can attain spiritual heights, asserting that individuals actively involved in the world, performing actions with devotion, can also reach the same spiritual culmination. In Kali Yuga, where individuals grapple with the challenges of a fast-paced and materialistic world, this verse encourages a holistic approach to spirituality. The true seer, in this context, is one who transcends the artificial boundaries between intellectual pursuits and practical engagement, recognizing that both paths converge and lead to the same ultimate destination. Bhagavad Gita 5.6. In the context of Kali Yuga, this verse addresses the misconception that renunciation can be achieved without the foundation of selfless action. This misconception is particularly relevant in an era where a superficial understanding of renunciation often leads to escapism and a neglect of worldly responsibilities. The logical aspect of this verse in the context of Kali Yuga centers around the idea that genuine renunciation is challenging without the practice of selfless action. In the modern world, individuals may be attracted to the idea of renunciation as a means to escape from the complexities and challenges of life. Kukwa's wisdom challenges this notion, asserting that true renunciation is not a mere abandonment of duties but an internal transformation achieved through the practice of selfless action. In practical terms, this wisdom can be exemplified by an individual who, while aspiring for renunciation, recognizes the importance of fulfilling their worldly duties with sincerity and dedication. This could be a professional who, while contemplating a life of renunciation, continues to perform their responsibilities with a sense of duty and service, contributing positively to society. The verse implies that renunciation without the foundation of selfless action may lead to distress, as it lacks the transformative power inherent in the path of Karma. In Kali Yuga, where individuals may be tempted to seek shortcuts to spiritual growth, this wisdom encourages a balanced approach. The sage, who adeptly combines selfless action with renunciation, swiftly attains union with Brahman, exemplifying the holistic nature of spiritual evolution. In essence, this verse emphasizes the integral relationship between renunciation and selfless action, guiding individuals in Kali Yuga to approach spirituality with a balanced and comprehensive perspective. The sage, in the modern age, is one who harmoniously integrates the practice of selfless action with the pursuit of genuine renunciation, transcending the pitfalls of escapism and superficial spiritual endeavors.
Bhagavad Gita 5.7. In the context of Kali Yuga, this verse provides a blueprint for individuals seeking to navigate the complexities of the material world while maintaining spiritual. The verse describes the qualities of a devotee engaged in selfless action, highlighting attributes that are particularly relevant in an era characterized by distractions and material entanglements. The logical aspect of this verse in the context of Kali Yuga revolves around the idea that spiritual purity can be maintained even while actively participating in the world. In the modern age, individuals often struggle to balance their spiritual pursuits with the demands of a fast-paced and materialistic society. Kukwa's wisdom challenges the notion that spiritual purity requires complete withdrawal from worldly activities. The verse implies that a person united with God, practicing selfless action, possesses a purified intellect. In the context of Kali Yuga, this could be exemplified by an individual who approaches their professional and personal life with a sense of integrity, ethical conduct, and a higher purpose. The purified intellect guides them to make decisions that are in alignment with spiritual values. Furthermore, the conquered mind and subdued senses described in the verse indicate a level of self-mastery. In Kali Yuga, where individuals are bombarded with sensory stimuli and distractions, the devotee on the path of selfless action remains focused and disciplined. This could be illustrated by a person who, despite the allure of material pleasures and distractions, maintains inner composure and control over their senses. The realization of the universal soul in all beings emphasizes the interconnectedness of all life. In Kali Yuga, where divisiveness and self-centeredness often prevail, the devotee who recognizes the divine essence in others fosters a sense of unity and compassion. This could be exemplified by an individual who, in their interactions with others, approaches everyone with kindness and understanding, transcending societal divisions. In essence, this verse provides a timeless and practical guide for individuals in Kali Yuga, outlining the qualities that enable them to remain spiritually untainted while actively participating in the world. The devotee, united with God, serves as a beacon of spiritual purity, embodying the principles of selfless action and recognizing the divine presence in all aspects of life.
Bhagavad Gita 5.8. In the context of Kali Yuga, this verse provides profound guidance for individuals seeking to cultivate a mindset of detached engagement in the midst of worldly activities. The verse challenges the notion of personal agency and encourages a perspective that acknowledges the divine presence in all actions. The logical aspect of this verse in the context of Kali Yuga centers around the idea that true wisdom lies in recognizing the interconnectedness of all activities and cultivating a sense of detachment from personal doership. In the modern world, individuals often grapple with stress and anxiety stemming from a strong identification with their actions and outcomes. Kukwa's wisdom challenges this identification, urging individuals to see, hear, touch, smell, eat, move, sleep, and breathe with a consciousness that transcends the limited ego. The verse implies that the harmonized knower of truth, engaged in Karma Yoga, perceives all actions as a part of the divine cosmic dance. In Kali Yuga, where the materialistic mindset prevails, this wisdom encourages individuals to approach their daily activities with a sense of sacredness and mindfulness. For example, a person working in an office may recognize the divine purpose behind their tasks, contributing to the greater good of the organization and society. Furthermore, the verse challenges the dualistic notion of I am the doer. In Kali Yuga, individuals often grapple with a sense of individuality and separateness. Kukwa's wisdom encourages a shift in perspective, fostering a sense of interconnectedness with the divine. This could be exemplified by an individual who, while engaged in daily routines, sees their actions as a part of the cosmic order, guided by a higher purpose beyond personal desires. In essence, this verse provides a transformative approach for individuals in Kali Yuga, guiding them to navigate the complexities of life with a profound awareness of the divine presence in all actions. The harmonized knower of truth, in the modern age, embodies the principles of detached engagement, recognizing that all activities are woven into the intricate fabric of the cosmic dance. Bhagavad Gita 5.9. In the context of Kali Yuga, this verse provides insightful guidance for individuals navigating a world filled with sensory stimuli and distractions. The verse encourages a balanced perspective on sensory experiences, fostering detachment while actively engaging with the senses. The logical aspect of this verse in the context of Kali Yuga revolves around the idea that sensory interactions are inevitable, and the key lies in maintaining a detached awareness during these interactions. In the modern age, individuals are constantly bombarded with sensory inputs through various technological and environmental stimuli. Kukwa's wisdom encourages individuals to recognize the natural functions of the senses and engage with them without becoming entangled in the web of desires. The verse implies that speaking, letting go, seizing, and other sensory activities are part of the natural functioning of the senses. In Kali Yuga, where individuals may be overwhelmed by the constant chatter of technology, the verse encourages a mindful approach to communication. For example, a person engaged in a conversation may apply the wisdom of this verse by speaking with clarity, letting go of unnecessary details, and seizing opportunities to express kindness and understanding. Furthermore, the verse acknowledges the opening and closing of the eyes, symbolizing visual experiences. In the era of Kali Yuga, where visual stimuli are pervasive through various forms of media, individuals can apply the wisdom of this verse by approaching visual inputs with discernment. This could be exemplified by a person who, while exposed to visual content, maintains a sense of detachment and consciously chooses content aligned with spiritual values. The key message is to recognize that sensory interactions are part of the natural order, and by understanding this, individuals can remain focused on the path of selfless action. In the midst of sensory engagements, the wise person remains unperturbed, recognizing the transitory nature of sensory experiences and prioritizing actions that contribute to spiritual growth and well-being. In essence, this verse provides a practical guide for individuals in Kali Yuga, reminding them to navigate sensory experiences with mindfulness and detachment. The harmonized knower of truth, in the modern age, embodies the principles of balanced engagement with the senses, recognizing the divine order in the natural functions of the senses and using them as tools for spiritual evolution. Bhagavad Gita 5.10. In the context of Kali Yuga, this verse offers a transformative perspective on the performance of actions, encouraging individuals to cultivate a sense of selfless dedication and detachment in their endeavors. The verse presents a profound approach to living in the world while maintaining spiritual purity. The logical aspect of this verse in the context of Kali Yuga revolves around the idea that dedicating actions to God and relinquishing attachment is a powerful antidote to the challenges of material entanglement. In the modern age, individuals often find themselves ensnared in the pursuit of personal gain, recognition, and success, leading to stress and moral dilemmas. Kukwa's wisdom guides individuals to shift their focus from personal desires to selfless service, offering all actions to the divine. The verse implies that dedicating actions to Brahman involves recognizing the higher purpose behind every action and aligning one's intentions with spiritual values. In Kali Yuga, where materialistic pursuits often overshadow higher ideals, this wisdom encourages individuals to approach their work, relationships, and responsibilities with a sense of dedication to a higher principle. The analogy of a lotus leaf untouched by water signifies the purity and detachment that individuals can maintain even in the midst of worldly engagements. In Kali Yuga, where moral compromises and ethical dilemmas are prevalent, the verse inspires individuals to navigate the complexities of life with integrity and spiritual consciousness. For instance, a professional in a competitive corporate environment may apply the wisdom of this verse by dedicating their work to a higher purpose, performing tasks with excellence while remaining detached from the outcomes. Furthermore, the verse assures that one who performs actions in this manner is not tainted by sin. In Kali Yuga, where ethical lapses are common, the verse offers a path to ethical conduct and spiritual purity. This could be exemplified by an individual who, while facing moral dilemmas, chooses the path of righteousness and remains untainted by the negative influences of the material world. In essence, this verse provides a timeless guide for individuals in Kali Yuga, offering a transformative approach to the performance of actions. The harmonized knower of truth in the modern age dedicates all actions to God, maintaining a sense of detachment, and remains untouched by the impurities of the material world.
Bhagavad Gita 5.11 in the context of Kali Yuga. This verse provides profound insights into the practice of detached action for individuals, striving for spiritual growth amid the distractions of the material world. The verse encourages the disciplined utilization of one's faculties for self-purification, while maintaining a sense of detachment. The logical aspect of this verse in the context of Kali Yuga revolves around the idea of conscious and detached engagement with the world. In the modern age, individuals are constantly bombarded with sensory stimuli, and the mind is often pulled in various directions by external influences. Kukwa's wisdom guides individuals to become yogs in the truest sense, acting with a deep sense of detachment while utilizing the body, mind, intellect, and senses. The verse implies that yogs, while fully engaging with the world, have transcended attachment. In Kali Yuga, where materialism and instant gratification are prevalent, individuals can apply the wisdom of this verse by consciously using their faculties for actions that contribute to personal and collective well-being. For example, a professional in a fast-paced corporate environment may perform their duties with dedication and excellence, utilizing their skills for the benefit of the organization, while remaining detached from the outcomes and external recognition. Furthermore, the verse emphasizes the purification of the self through actions. In the context of Kali Yuga, where individuals may find themselves entangled in the pursuit of material success, the verse encourages a shift in perspective. Yogs in the modern age may choose actions that align with spiritual values, contributing to the purification of their own consciousness and the world around them. For instance, a person actively involved in community service may see their actions as a form of self-purification and contributing to the greater good. In essence, this verse provides a transformative guide for individuals in Kali Yuga, inspiring them to adopt the mindset of yogs. The harmonized knower of truth in the modern age engages in actions with mindfulness, utilizing the body, mind, intellect, and senses for the higher purpose of self-purification while remaining detached from the transient fruits of their actions. Bhagavad Gita 5.12 in the context of Kali Yuga. This verse addresses the fundamental choice individuals face in their actions, whether to pursue them with attachment to outcomes or to perform them with a sense of detachment. The verse provides a profound insight into the consequences of these choices and their impact on attaining lasting peace. The logical aspect of this verse in the context of Kali Yuga revolves around the prevalent challenges of materialism, instant gratification, and the pursuit of personal desires. Individuals in the modern age often find themselves entangled in a web of expectations, driven by the desire for specific outcomes in their endeavors. The verse implies that the well-poised individual, united in consciousness with God, chooses to abandon attachment to the fruits of actions. In Kali Yuga, where the pursuit of success and material gains can overshadow spiritual values, the verse encourages individuals to adopt a mindset of detachment. For instance, a professional working in a competitive environment may apply this wisdom by performing their duties diligently while letting go of attachment to promotions or external recognition. On the other hand, the verse warns that the one driven by desires and attached to outcomes becomes bound by the consequences of their actions. In Kali Yuga, where the craving for success and material pleasures is pronounced, the verse serves as a cautionary guide. An individual excessively focused on personal gains may find themselves entangled in the cycle of desire and disappointment. The choice presented in this verse is relevant to various aspects of modern life, including career pursuits, relationships, and personal goals. In a world driven by the desire for instant gratification, individuals can choose the path of detachment, recognizing that true peace lies in the surrender of attachment to specific outcomes. In essence, this verse provides a timeless guide for individuals in Kali Yuga, offering a transformative perspective on the pursuit of actions and their consequences. The harmonized knower of truth in the modern age opts for detachment from the fruits of actions, attaining lasting peace, while the one driven by desires remains bound by the cycle of attachment and disappointment.
Bhagavad Gita 5.13. In the context of Kali Yuga, this verse provides profound guidance on achieving inner tranquility through mental renunciation of actions. The verse presents a practical approach for individuals to navigate the complexities of modern life, emphasizing the importance of self-control and contentment. The logical aspect of this verse in the context of Kali Yuga addresses the challenges individuals face in a fast-paced and demanding world. The verse implies that true happiness and self-mastery are found in the ability to mentally renounce the incessant demands and distractions of external actions. In the modern age, individuals are bombarded with stimuli from various sources, leading to constant mental activity. The verse encourages individuals to attain a state of mental renunciation, where the mind remains detached from the compulsions of external actions. This mental renunciation does not imply physical inactivity, but rather a state of inner calm and self-control despite external engagements. The concept of residing in the nine-gated city, representing the body with its 9 openings, signifies a harmonious and self-contained existence. In Kali Yuga, where external influences can easily disturb mental peace, individuals can apply the wisdom of this verse by cultivating inner stability and contentment. This involves consciously choosing thoughts and actions that align with spiritual values and contribute to personal well-being. The verse also highlights the idea of not causing the body and senses to engage in actions unnecessarily. In the context of Kali Yuga, where the pursuit of material success can lead to excessive busyness and stress, individuals can reflect on their actions and discern whether they are essential for their well-being and spiritual growth. In essence, this verse offers a timeless guide for individuals in Kali Yuga, encouraging them to find joy and contentment through the practice of mental renunciation. The harmonized knower of truth, in the modern age, achieves self-mastery by maintaining inner peace amidst external activities, residing in the nine-gated city without being driven by unnecessary actions or desires. Bhagavad Gita 5.14. In the context of Kali Yuga, this verse addresses a fundamental philosophical understanding of the cosmic order and the concept of individual agency. The verse implies that the Supreme Lord is not the creator of human actions, the sense of doership, or the connection with the fruits of those actions. Instead, it highlights the role of individual nature svabhava as the driving force behind human activities. The logical aspect of this verse in the context of Kali Yuga addresses common misconceptions about the nature of divine intervention in human affairs. In a world often characterized by uncertainties and challenges, Individuals may question the divine role in their actions and the outcomes thereof. The verse suggests that God, in his impartial nature, does not impose a sense of doorship on individuals, nor does he dictate the specific actions or their consequences. It underscores the importance of understanding individual nature and recognizing that the choices and actions of beings are driven by their inherent inclinations. In Kali Yuga, where moral and ethical dilemmas are prevalent, this verse encourages individuals to take responsibility for their actions. It invites contemplation on the concept of svabhava, urging individuals to align their actions with their true nature, guided by values and virtues. Additionally, the verse has relevance in dispelling fatalistic views that may rise in challenging times. It asserts that the divine order allows for free will and the exercise of individual agency. In the face of adversity, individuals are encouraged to act responsibly and make choices in alignment with Dharma. In essence, this verse provides a profound philosophical perspective for individuals in Kali Yuga, emphasizing the autonomy of human agency and the impartiality of the Supreme Lord in the unfolding of actions. It invites a deeper reflection on the interconnectedness of individual nature, choices, and the cosmic order. Bhagavad Gita 5.15. In the context of Kali Yuga, this verse addresses the complex interplay of merits and demerits in the cosmic order. The verse implies that the Supreme Lord remains impartial and does not selectively accept the sins or virtues of individuals. This understanding holds significant implications for individuals navigating the challenges of Kali Yuga. In a world often marked by moral ambiguity and ethical dilemmas, the verse serves as a philosophical anchor. It suggests that the divine justice is not characterized by a transactional system of reward and punishment based on individual actions. Instead, it underscores the impartiality of the Supreme Lord, who transcends the dualities of good and bad, sin and virtue. The logical aspect of this verse in the context of Kali Yuga addresses prevalent misconceptions about divine justice and cosmic accountability. Individuals may grapple with questions of why certain actions lead to undeserved suffering or apparent success. This verse provides a profound perspective, suggesting that the divine order operates beyond human comprehension. The enveloping of knowledge by ignorance is a key theme in the verse. In Kali Yuga, where ignorance and spiritual blindness are prevalent, individuals may find themselves deluded by misconceptions and misled by their limited understanding. The verse encourages the deeper exploration of spiritual knowledge to dispel the darkness of ignorance. Moreover, the verse challenges notions of a punitive deity and invites individuals to reevaluate their understanding of divine justice. It suggests that the Lord's impartiality extends to the acceptance or non-acceptance of individual actions, emphasizing the need for a more profound spiritual insight to comprehend the cosmic dynamics. In conclusion, this verse provides a profound philosophical framework for individuals in Kali Yuga, fostering a deeper understanding of divine impartiality, the enveloping of knowledge by ignorance, and the nature of cosmic justice beyond conventional moral binaries. It encourages seekers to transcend limited perspectives and embark on a journey of spiritual enlightenment to navigate the complexities of the present age. Bhagavad Gita 5.16. In the context of Kali Yuga, this verse addresses the crucial role of divine knowledge in dispelling the pervasive ignorance characteristic of the age. The verse suggests that those whose ignorance is eradicated by true knowledge experience a profound revelation of the Supreme Brahman, akin to the sun illuminating the world. In the current age, marked by spiritual confusion and a lack of profound understanding, the verse serves as a beacon of hope. It implies that despite the prevailing ignorance, the transformative power of authentic spiritual knowledge has the potential to bring about a profound awakening. The analogy of the sun implies that divine knowledge is not just enlightening, but has the capacity to dispel the darkness of ignorance comprehensively. The logical aspect of this verse in the context of Kali Yuga encourages seekers to prioritize the pursuit of true knowledge. It suggests that in the face of spiritual misinformation and confusion, an earnest quest for authentic wisdom can lead to a transformative revelation of the Supreme Brahman. Moreover, the analogy of the sun implies that the revelation of the Supreme Brahman is not partial or selective. It is an all-encompassing illumination, transcending the boundaries of individual perspectives and ideologies. In an age where diverse spiritual paths and philosophies coexist, the verse implies that authentic knowledge has the power to reveal the universal truth that unifies all spiritual traditions. In conclusion, this verse provides a profound insight into the transformative potential of divine knowledge. especially relevant in the context of Kali Yuga. It underscores the universal nature of true wisdom, capable of dispelling ignorance and revealing the supreme Brahman. Much like the sun illuminating the entirety of existence, the verse inspires seekers to embark on a journey of authentic knowledge, transcending the spiritual challenges of the present age.
Bhagavad Gita 5.17. In the context of Kali Yuga, this verse provides a profound perspective on the unwavering commitments required for spiritual liberation. The verse suggests that those who wholeheartedly dedicate their intellect and self to the divine, with the supreme as their ultimate goal, attain a state beyond the cycles of repeated births and deaths. In the current age, characterized by spiritual distractions and challenges, the logical aspect of this verse encourages individuals to cultivate a deep and unwavering devotion to the divine. It implies that true liberation is not merely intellectual, but requires a heartfelt commitment and single-minded focus on the Supreme. The verse also addresses the purification of sins through knowledge. In the context of Kali Yuga, where moral and ethical challenges are prevalent, the verse suggests that genuine spiritual knowledge has the power to cleanse individuals of their past wrongdoings. It emphasizes that authentic knowledge acts as a transformative force, purifying the heart and soul. Moreover, the idea of not returning implies liberation from the cycle of birth and death. In Kali Yuga, where the materialistic and worldly distractions are intense, the verse serves as a reminder of the ultimate goal of spiritual seekers, to attain a state of eternal bliss and liberation from the cycle of rebirth. In conclusion, this verse provides a timeless and relevant message for individuals navigating the challenges of Kali Yuga. It calls for unwavering devotion, single-minded focus on the divine, and the transformative power of true knowledge to attain liberation and freedom from the cycle of birth and death. Bhagavad Gita 5.18. In the context of equality, this verse conveys a powerful message of unbiased vision and respect for all living beings, irrespective of their social status. The logical aspect of this verse encourages individuals to recognize the inherent divinity in everyone and cultivate a mindset that goes beyond external differences. The verse specifically mentions a brahmana, a cow, an elephant, a dog, and even an outcast. These diverse examples cover a wide range of living beings, symbolizing various social, intellectual, and cultural backgrounds. By doing so, the verse challenges societal norms and underscores the importance of looking beyond external differences. In the modern context, where social divisions and discrimination persist, this verse serves as a timeless reminder of the value of true wisdom and humility. It calls for an inclusive vision that sees the divine essence in every being. The logical interpretation encourages individuals to overcome biases and treat all with equanimity. Moreover, the mention of divine knowledge and humility as essential qualities of a brahmana reinforces the idea that true wisdom is not merely intellectual, but is accompanied by a humble and compassionate heart. The logical message is clear. Genuine spiritual growth involves cultivating a mindset that sees unity in diversity and treats all with respect and equality. In conclusion, this verse provides a profound lesson on equality, urging individuals to develop an impartial vision that goes beyond social distinctions. The logical interpretation encourages a mindset of inclusivity, recognizing the divinity in every being and fostering a society built on respect, understanding, and equality.
Bhagavad Gita 5.19. In the logical context of equanimity and liberation, this verse conveys a profound message about the transformative power of a steady and balanced mind. The verse suggests that by maintaining equanimity, individuals can overcome the cycle of birth and death. Let's explore the logical aspects. Significance of equanimity. The verse highlights the importance of mental composure in the face of dualities. Equanimity refers to a state of mental stability and balance, irrespective of external circumstances. In the logical context, equanimity becomes a powerful tool for navigating the challenges of life without being overwhelmed. It allows individuals to face both pleasure and pain, success and failure, with a steady mind, conquering the cycle of birth and death. The verse suggests that those who maintain equanimity overcome the cycle of birth and death. This implies liberation from the continuous cycle of reincarnation and the associated experiences of joy and sorrow. From a logical standpoint, the cycle of birth and death is seen as a consequence of attachment, desire, and aversion. Equanimity disrupts these patterns, leading to freedom from the binding effects of karma. Nature of Brahman, spotless and real. The term Brahman is described as spotless and real. In the logical context, Brahman represents the ultimate reality or the absolute truth. The concept of Brahman being spotless implies that it is free from any imperfections, limitations, or impurities. The logical understanding is that by realizing this ultimate reality, individuals attain a state of transcendence, establishment in Brahman. The verse concludes by stating that those who are established in Brahman are liberated. This suggests that realization of the ultimate truth leads to liberation from the cycle of birth and death. In a logical sense, being established in Brahman signifies a state of self-realization, where one recognizes their essential nature as divine and eternal. This realization brings about freedom from the illusion of material existence. In summary, the logical interpretation of this verse underscores the transformative power of equanimity in breaking the cycle of birth and death. The realization of Brahman as the ultimate reality is presented as the key to liberation, highlighting the profound impact of a steady and balanced mind on the spiritual journey. Bhagavad Gita 5.20. In a logical context, this verse provides insights into the mental state of a true Brahman knower and the impact of Brahman realization on their emotional responses. Let's explore the logical aspects, equanimity in joy and sorrow. The verse suggests that a genuine Brahman knower maintains equanimity in the face of joy and sorrow. This implies a state of emotional balance, where neither pleasure nor pain disrupts the individual's inner tranquility. Logically, this equilibrium arises from the understanding that both joy and sorrow are transient experiences. In the material world, the Brahman knower perceives these dualities with detachment. Steady intellect. The importance of a steady intellect is emphasized in the verse. This implies a mind that remains composed and unwavering, unaffected by the external circumstances of pleasure and pain. Logically, a steady intellect is crucial for making sound decisions and maintaining mental clarity, especially in situations that might evoke emotional responses. A disturbed state of mind. The phrase asamakam conveys the idea of an undisturbed state of mind. The Brahman knower, having transcended delusion, remains unperturbed by the dualities of the material world. Logically, an undisturbed mind is more resilient and capable of navigating challenges effectively. It allows for a deeper understanding of the impermanent nature of worldly experiences. Realization of Brahman. The verse correlates the steady intellect and undisturbed state of mind with the realization of Brahman. The connection suggests that the profound understanding of Brahman leads to an elevated mental state. Logically, realization of Brahman implies recognizing the ultimate reality beyond the transient dualities of the material realm. This knowledge acts as a stabilizing force, fostering equanimity. In summary, the logical interpretation of this verse emphasizes the transformative impact of Brahman realization on an individual's emotional responses. The verse underscores the importance of equanimity, a steady intellect, and an undisturbed state of mind in the life of a true Brahman knower. Bhagavad Gita 5.21. In a logical context, this verse presents a profound insight into the source of genuine happiness and the role of detachment in attaining it. Let's explore the logical aspects. Detachment from external pleasures. The verse suggests that true happiness is discovered when the self is unattached to external sensory pleasures. Logically, external pleasures are transient and subject to change, and relying on them for happiness may lead to temporary satisfaction but not lasting fulfillment. Inner happiness. Happiness is found within oneself when unattached to external sensory objects. Logically, this implies that the internal state of the mind and consciousness plays a crucial role in determining one's sense of well-being. True happiness arises from an inner source that is not dependent on external circumstances. Brahma Yoga and meditation. Engaging in the meditation of Brahman God is introduced as a means to attain boundless and eternal happiness. Logically, the practice of Brahma Yoga involves turning inward, connecting with the divine, and realizing the infinite nature of the self. This inner realization brings about profound joy and contentment, transformation through spiritual practices. The verse implies that detachment and spiritual practices lead to a state where external influences do not disturb one's inner peace. Logically, by cultivating detachment and engaging in spiritual practices like meditation. Individuals can undergo a transformation in their perception of happiness, shifting from external dependencies to an internally anchored state. In summary, the logical interpretation of this verse emphasizes the intrinsic connection between inner happiness, detachment from external pleasures, and the transformative impact of spiritual practices. The verse encourages individuals to explore the realm of inner fulfillment through self-realization and meditation on the divine.
Bhagavad Gita 5.2, within the framework of Kali Yuga, known for a surge in materialism, indulgence in the senses, and a waning of spiritual principles. This particular scripture gains significant insight. It underscores the brief and ephemeral joy that sensory pleasures offer. In this era, the common quest for instant satisfaction, finding joy in material possessions, interpersonal connections, and sensory delights is rampant. Imagine a person deeply engrossed in the chase for material gratification, endlessly searching for happiness in experiences related to taste, entertainment, and social interactions. Amidst the hurried existence of Kali Yuga, it's common to seek temporary happiness from external sources. Yet, as the scripture reveals, the enlightened realize that while these pleasures from the senses may appear enjoyable initially, they are short-lived and inevitably lead to distress. Take, for instance, someone who, in spite of amassing wealth, indulging in sensory gratifications, and chasing various earthly pleasures, is left with a continuous feeling of emptiness and unhappiness. The enlightened, aware of the fleeting character of these sensory delights and their link to misery, opt not to indulge in them. Rather, they direct their attention inward, in search of a deeper and more enduring form of joy that goes beyond the material realm's confines. In today's world, people can ponder their own quests for sensory pleasures and evaluate whether these endeavors have resulted in lasting contentment or brief episodes of joy followed by dissatisfaction. The rational element of this scripture within the Kali Yuga setting acts as a counsel for individuals to develop judgment and enlightenment, guiding them away from the shallow chase for material pleasures. By recognizing the transient nature of sensory satisfaction and aiming for a more substantial inner contentment, people can overcome the obstacles of the present era with fortitude and spiritual clarity.
Bhagavad Gita 5.3. In the context of Kali Yuga, this verse holds significant relevance due to the prevalent challenges associated with desire and anger. The current age is characterized by an abundance of sensory stimuli, materialistic pursuits, and a heightened emotional climate. Individuals often find themselves entangled in the web of desires and succumb to the impulsive nature of anger, leading to various forms of dissatisfaction and unrest. Consider a person navigating the challenges of modern life, constantly bombarded by desires for wealth, fame, and sensory pleasures. Additionally, the fast-paced and stressful environment triggers frequent episodes of anger. The verse is like a guiding beacon, suggesting that a true yogi, even in the midst of such challenges, has the capacity to withstand these inner forces. Imagine an individual who, despite being surrounded by material temptations and facing situations that provoke anger, maintains inner composure and restraint. This person practices self-discipline and exercises control over desires and anger, not waiting for a future time, but dealing with these forces proactively in the present. Such a yogi, according to the verse, experiences genuine happiness and contentment. The logical aspect in the context of Kali Yuga underscores the urgency for individuals to cultivate inner strength and self-discipline. It prompts them to address the roots of desires and anger, recognizing that true happiness lies not in the fulfillment of every desire, but in the mastery over these forces. The verse serves as a timeless guide, urging individuals to embark on a transformative journey toward inner peace and lasting joy amid the challenges of the current age.
Bhagavad Gita 5.24. In the context of Kali Yuga, this verse provides a profound insight into the timeless practice of yoga and its relevance in the present age. Kali Yuga is marked by external disturbances, material distractions, and an abundance of sensory stimuli that often lead individuals away from their inner selves. the verse serves as a guiding light, reminding individuals of the significance of turning inward for genuine happiness. Consider a person navigating the challenges of the modern era, bombarded by external pressures, constant connectivity, and the pursuit of material gains. Amidst the chaos, there exists a yogi who, through the practice of yoga, discovers inner joy, contentment, and self-illumination. This yogi, detached from external circumstances, embodies the essence of this verse. In a world that constantly seeks external validation and transient pleasures, the yogi exemplifies the possibility of finding lasting happiness within. By cultivating a practice that nurtures inner peace, such a yogi becomes a beacon of inspiration for others in the age of Kali. The example illustrates that even in the current era, with its challenges and distractions, individuals can embark on an inward journey to discover profound joy and spiritual illumination. The logical aspect in the context of Kali Yuga emphasizes the urgency for individuals to recognize the transformative potential of yoga in attaining inner freedom. The verse encourages shift from external pursuits to the exploration of one's inner self, presenting a timeless solution to the challenges of the present age. The example reinforces the idea that true happiness and liberation are not contingent on external circumstances but are found within the depths of one's own being.
Bhagavad Gita 5.5. In the context of Kali Yuga, this verse provides a profound insight into the transformative journey of spiritual seekers. Kali Yuga is characterized by rampant sin, moral decay, and an increase in dualistic thinking. The verse serves as a guiding light, offering a timeless solution for individuals seeking elevation in this age. It illustrates the potential for liberation and spiritual evolution even amidst the challenges of Kali Yuga. Consider a spiritual aspirant navigating the complexities of Kali Yuga, surrounded by moral degradation and pervasive dualities. Despite the prevalent challenges, there exists a sage who, through disciplined practices, eradicates sins and rises above dualistic thinking. This sage becomes a beacon of inspiration, demonstrating that liberation is achievable even in the face of adversity. The example illustrates the timeless truth embedded in this verse, providing hope and guidance for those traversing the path of spiritual evolution in Kali Yuga. The logical aspect in the context of Kali Yuga underscores the relevance of the verse in addressing the specific challenges of this age. It highlights the transformative power of spiritual discipline and the importance of altruistic endeavors for the welfare of all beings. The example reinforces the idea that, despite the prevalent negativity, individuals can attain liberation by cultivating purity of heart, overcoming dualities, and dedicating themselves to the well-being of others.
Bhagavad Gita 5.26. In the context of Kali Yuga, this verse holds immense significance as it outlines the path to absolute freedom amidst the challenges of this age. Kali Yuga is marked by rampant desires, uncontrolled anger, and the pervasive sense of materialism. The verse serves as a timeless guide, offering a solution for individuals navigating the complexities of Kali Yuga. It reveals that even in this age, self-controlled ascetics who conquer desires and anger can attain absolute freedom. This verse reflects the current age by addressing the prevalent issues of unbridled desires and unchecked anger. The intense materialism and instant gratification sought in Kali Yuga lead to unfulfilled desires, which, in turn, breed frustration and anger. The verse advises individuals to rise above these tendencies, emphasizing the need for self-control and realization of the self. Imagine a spiritual seeker in Kali Yuga, surrounded by a world driven by desires and consumed by anger. Despite the prevailing challenges, there exists a saintly person who, through disciplined practices, conquers desires, subdues anger, and realizes the self. This individual becomes a living example of absolute freedom, transcending the limitations imposed by the materialistic and turbulent environment of Kali Yuga. The example illustrates that, even in the face of the heightened challenges of this age, spiritual liberation is attainable through inner mastery. The logical aspect in the context of Kali Yuga reinforces the timeless wisdom of the verse. It provides a roadmap for individuals to navigate the pitfalls of excessive desires and anger, offering a transformative path to absolute freedom. The example illustrates that the principles outlined in the verse are not mere theoretical concepts, but practical guidelines that can be embodied by seekers in the midst of the challenges posed by Kali Yuga. Bhagavad Gita 5.27. In the context of Kali Yuga, where external distractions and sensory overload are prevalent, this verse becomes highly relevant. This verse provides a practical solution for individuals seeking inner peace and spiritual growth. Amidst the chaos of the current age, Kali Yuga is characterized by a constant barrage of external stimuli that can easily lead the mind astray. The verse offers a timeless technique to counteract these distractions and turn inward. This verse reflects the current age by addressing the challenges of sensory indulgence and the difficulty of maintaining focus in a world filled with distractions. In Kali Yuga, people are bombarded with information through various senses, leading to mental agitation and restlessness. The verse provides a method to retreat from this sensory onslaught, promoting introspection and inner concentration. Consider a modern-day individual navigating the fast-paced and overstimulating environment of Kali Yuga. Faced with constant external distractions, the person adopts the practice outlined in this verse by consciously withdrawing the senses from external stimuli, fixing the gaze between the eyebrows, and becoming aware of the breath's movement within the nostrils. They establish a sanctuary of inner calm. Despite the chaos around them, this practice allows them to maintain mental focus, find serenity, and deepen their connection with the divine. The logical aspect in the context of Kali Yuga showcases the timeless wisdom of the verse. It serves as a practical tool for individuals to combat the challenges of sensory overload, promoting mental clarity and spiritual progress. The example illustrates that, even in the contemporary complexities of Kali Yuga, the practices outlined in the verse offer a transformative path toward inner peace and self-realization.
Bhagavad Gita 5.28. In the context of Kali Yuga, where desires, fears, and anger are rampant, this verse holds immense. The verse provides a blueprint for individuals seeking liberation in the current age. Kali Yuga is marked by a heightened prevalence of sensory temptations and emotional disturbances. The verse offers a path of self-discipline, guiding individuals to overcome these challenges and work towards the ultimate goal of moksha. This verse reflects the current age by addressing the pervasive issues of desire-driven pursuits, fear-induced anxieties, and anger-driven conflicts. In Kali Yuga, people are often entangled in materialistic desires, haunted by fears of various uncertainties, and succumb to bouts of anger. The verse serves as a beacon of wisdom, guiding individuals to transcend these afflictions and tread the path of liberation. Consider an individual in Kali Yuga surrounded by the constant onslaught of desires, fears, and anger. Inspired by the teachings of this verse, the person embarks on a journey of self-discipline. Through mindfulness and self-awareness, they gradually gain control over their senses, mind, and intellect. As a result, the person experiences a profound shift. Desires lose their grip, fears dissolve, and anger subsides. The individual, now aligned with the pursuit of moksha, embodies the qualities described in the verse, showcasing its transformative power even in the challenging milieu of Kali Yuga. The logical aspect in the context of Kali Yuga highlights the timeless wisdom encapsulated in this verse. It offers a practical solution for individuals grappling with the contemporary challenges of desire, fear, and anger. The example illustrates how the verse serves as a guide, empowering individuals to navigate the complexities of Kali Yuga and attain a state of lasting liberation. Bhagavad Gita 5.29. In the context of Kali Yuga, where the pursuit of material pleasures often overshadows spiritual awareness, this verse provides a profound solution. The verse invites individuals to shift their focus from self-centered endeavors to recognizing the Supreme Lord's role in their lives. By understanding the Lord as the ultimate enjoyer and benevolent friend, individuals can transcend the anxieties and disturbances prevalent in Kali Yuga. This verse reflects the current age by addressing the prevalent disconnect between individuals and the divine. In Kali Yuga, people are often engrossed in self-centered pursuits, leading to a sense of restlessness and dissatisfaction. The logical aspect of this verse lies in redirecting individuals towards a holistic understanding of life, where the Supreme Lord is acknowledged as the source of peace and fulfillment. Consider an individual in Kali Yuga overwhelmed by the constant pursuit of material success, feeling isolated and agitated. Inspired by the teachings of this verse, the person shifts their perspective. Instead of solely seeking personal gain, they acknowledge the Supreme Lord as the ultimate enjoyer and the well-wisher of all beings. This change in perception brings about a profound inner peace, allowing the individual to navigate the challenges of Kali Yuga with a serene heart. The logical aspect in the context of Kali Yuga highlights how this verse serves as a transformative guide, offering a shift from self-centered living to a more spiritually oriented and harmonious existence. The example illustrates the significance of recognizing the Supreme Lord's role in bringing peace amidst the chaos of Kali Yuga.